Welcome to the world.
So we're encouraged this time of year, well actually we're encouraged at any time of year to go out and get amongst the trees because it's very healthy. And we're down by a stream and I like being by the water, and there's a waterfall behind me. And actually there's a dog just come into the water behind Ruth who's holding the camera, so we could get splashed in a minute. I'm actually going to talk a little bit about cash today, so this isn't the right place to do it. So there's cyclists going past behind us all the time as well. It's pretty busy here in the park. But I'm going to talk about money, just not here.
Welcome to the world.
Hello again. When discussing money, it is worth mentioning that tobacco and seashells were once used to buy goods.
Excuse me, I'll have a medium cappuccino, please, and I'm going to pay in medium-sized shiny shells today.
Metals like gold and silver are now mainly used in electronics and on things like solar panels.
There are lots of precious and rare earth metals used in electronics these days and in EVs and so on, but it is silver that's going to stop the growth of AI. Some people think that's a good thing, I know. Moving on to the money I've known in my lifetime, and yes, there was some cash involved, but only quite early on. In 1966, Barclaycard brought out the first credit card in the UK, but I wasn't old enough to have one then. You had to be 18. But in 1972, the other banks brought out their Access card, and yes, I did have one of those. And of course, the checkbook was a thing during my youth, and I had one of those guaranteed by a check card, and I could pay people up to £50 on the first check card that came out. There's been a huge decline in check payments. Now it only represents 0.8% of all non-cash transactions. The latest figures I could find for cash transactions themselves were 2023, when they were down to 12% of all spending. And of all the money in circulation in Britain, only 4% of it is in cash, in notes and coins. This is Canary Wharf in London, where the traditional old-school banks have their headquarters. You can see HSBC there. But 10 years ago, people started talking about money in terms of financial technology, because by this time it was pretty much all digital. The digital banks were coming online without branches and without cash machines of their own, and there were literally dozens of them as startups, and quite a few of them have survived until today, with Revolut, I believe, being the biggest of those. Revolut was quite a long time in becoming a regulated bank in the UK because it had a Lithuanian license that it got by on. But it's now headquartered in Canary Wharf, just like the other big banks. Zopa Bank are now moving into their new headquarters in Canary Wharf, and they started in 2005 as a lending concern. I took a loan from Zopa quite early on, and more recently than that, they've had some of the best rates for savings. I've been using them for that. And last year, they brought out their current account, which is now called
Biscuit.
Now, listen here. If you're dipped in super sensibility and are deeply smart cookies, sometimes you want to get extra money coinage for something like a motor caravanny broom broom. So don't be fretting one's bloomers all in a twist. Here's a Zopa idea. If you have an impressively tidy credit rating, you could be borrowing the fiduciary funds from the truly remarkable old Zopa at zopa.com. Zopa lends pound amounts from £1,000 to 25,000. Spiffing glorious, all at a Zopa-petitive rate. Get your eyeballs trained on this absolute banger. And it gets even betterly splendid. It's all supersonically rapidly speedy to arrange. 2 oh-so-simple steps for a quote and a joyfully instantly decision. And no despicable costings, hidden all meanly, oh no. You savvy? Zopa duper. So, get on your computing or tablet pad web device and be gone to zopa.com and be applying right this memento.
In a world of nonsense, a Zopa loan makes perfect sense. Apply now at zopa.com.
How terribly Zopa duper.
So with these non-cash banks coming into prominence, what about the people who have traditionally taken cash, like buskers on the street? This guy I met in Whitchurch, he had a little card reader. If you tapped it, it took £2 off your card. Well, I thought he was very good, so I tapped it twice. We came across a similar busker some years ago in York, so it's not a new thing. During the COVID lockdowns, when we weren't supposed to be handling cash anyway, the big issue sellers, they started having card readers. I bought a couple of big issues myself by card. But I was a little concerned over this last weekend when I was driving around and seeing people with their normal poppy appeals and not really getting much attention from the public. They didn't seem to have any way of taking cards, but they do exist. These are some of the devices that I've read about online. The concern for many small traders and mini entrepreneurs is that the card reader is a bit of an overhead for them and everything has to go through the bank. Well, here's the alternative. This is what used to be called an honesty box. You go to a farm gate and buy some of their produce and you leave some money in a box. Well, now they've developed a QR code and your phone just needs to scan that and up will come the method to pay them some money. Brilliant.
Most countries in the world have their own currencies, but Bulgaria is about to give theirs up forever. They will be adopting the euro on January 1st, 2026. This hasn't gone down very well with a lot of Bulgarians.
All prices will then be displayed in both the current currency, the lev, and the euro. But the move is fiercely opposed by demonstrators, many of whom are aligned with nationalist and pro-Russian parties.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn. I've been searching through Brian's video vaults to try and see when he first went to Tenerife. It was actually 1987, but he has never edited that video. The earliest visit that has been edited is from 2003 when Brian looks a lot younger. I don't really do aging. I will always look just like I do today. Lucky me! The video starts with an early morning departure to Manchester Airport.
It took us 3 hours to get from the airport with bus delays and things. We got to bed about 10 to 6, cockroaches and all, and had a few hours sleep and we went to the welcome party, got bored for an hour, walked out of that, got some food and here we are.
The place we prefer to stay in Tenerife is up at Los Gigantes, and the place we stayed in 2003 was called Temaimo Tropical. The first part of the video has a look round the inside of the complex around the swimming pool.
Waves crash hard on the rocky shore. Salt air cuts deep, but I crave more.
And then we put the cat amongst the pigeons. This is a view down to our favourite beachy area, and this view is now obstructed by a commercial centre. But before that happened, we used to sit up here on a bench and wait until the sun sets over La Gomera, an island which you can only just see in the background on some of the shots. And that bench was one of our favourite places to sit and just look out over the ocean. The bench isn't there anymore, and nor is that view. You have to go right down to the beach to see the sunset now. Tenerife's beaches tend not to be very sandy, it's quite rocky here, so if you're barefooting it's not always that easy to walk. There's another little beach just around the corner, which was also very popular back then, but when we've been in recent years, it doesn't seem to be that popular at all. The cliffs are one of the prominent features of the area, and views like this in front of this hotel, they're just not there either now because that's all been built on too. The view across to Crab Island hasn't changed that much. It's still got what you might call an infinity pool leading out to the ocean. You'll see a lot of lizards here, and they tend to live in the stone walls but come out in the hot weather.
And the wild winds roam, rock and sea, sky so wide.
And this is down at the marina of Los Gigantes, where there are quite a lot of boat trips go out in boats of all different sizes. The Flipper Uno is one of those. It's one of the few that's actually survived to the present day, and back in 2003 we went on a trip, and it's very similar to the trip we went on in 2024. Yes, it's still going.
Nowhere to hide. Mountains rise, ancient and stern, from every corner. The waters churn.
We didn't see this waterfall last year when we were there, so I think that's gone. And we did see our friend Willie, who is still working in a shop a bit further away, and he doesn't seem to have aged as much as we have. When the tide goes out, it leaves these little rock pools which trap quite a bit of wildlife, and it was interesting to see that in 2024 when we went, I didn't see a thing in these pools, and I don't quite know what's happened to the marine life here.
Waves crash hard on the rocky shore. Salt air cuts deep, but I crave more. La Gomera, she whispers from afar. A shadow island under the evening star. Tenerife dreams call me home, where the ocean sings and the wild winds roam.
So let's flip her out onto the ocean, and they have an onboard cameraman because not many people had facilities to take their own photos and video back then, and he's got the state-of-the-art camera for 2003.
Footsteps vanish in the blackened sand. The cliffs, they crumble, they don't understand. Palm trees sway, but the ground is still. Volcanic heartbeats beneath the hill. Golden light sinks slow. Where does the rising go? Tenerife dreams call me home, where the ocean sings and the wild winds roam. Rock and sea, sky so wide. Take me there, let me collide. Sunset drips like fire on the tide. The world feels small, nowhere to hide. Mountains rise, ancient and stern, from every corner. The waters churn.
There were no digital cameras in 2003, quite a large old analogue camera that I had. So you're not able to get as clear photographs in the dark as you can these days, but it still captures a bit of atmosphere. And the thing that you don't get is that it's usually 25 to 30 degrees in Tenerife, and it's really warm all night.